And hello friends, and welcome to another video. This is Miami CO, Indiana. Today I'm going to show you how I make scrambled eggs. I have a friend that every time he comes over he says, can you make scrambled eggs for me? Yours are just so delicious. So I'm just going to show you how I do it, and it's very easy. So first thing, I have a ceramic pan. You want to make sure you have a good non-stick pan. No matter what type it is, this is ceramic, but make sure you're using a good non-stick pan. I'm only making the eggs for myself today. My friend is not here, so I'm only going to do 2 eggs, so I just need a small pan like this. Now, if you were making more than 4 eggs, because this one you could use 2 to 4 eggs and it would be fine. But if you're going to make like a large batch of eggs for a family or a gathering, you'll want to go and resort to a larger 12-inch skillet like this. And this one you could literally cook a dozen eggs in when you use a large one. The first thing I do is make sure the burner is off before I add the small amount of oil that I'm going to add to my pan. Now, oil, you can use butter if you want. You can use olive oil. You can use avocado oil like this. My favorite to use, though, is the all vegetable shortening. And I know this is not the healthiest type of oil. I'm using a very, very small amount of it. And I just find they just come out really good by using the all vegetable shortening. But butter works good also. Olive oil also works good. But if you use either butter or olive oil, make sure you don't burn it, because they're susceptible to getting burned, and then you'll have really bad tasting scrambled eggs. So I'm only making 2 eggs today. These are 2 large eggs. I do want to note too that I've set my eggs out on my stove in the counter for about 15 minutes. That just takes the chill off the eggs, and they just cook better when they're not ice cold out of the refrigerator. Most restaurants, you'll see their eggs are not in the refrigerator they're pulling out. They're setting out, getting a little bit of the chill off of them. They just cook better. So I'm just cooking 2. The first thing I'm going to do to my pan is add a small amount of my vegetable shortening. You see, I'm just adding a small amount to a cold pan. I don't want any heat because I don't want to have this burn on me. So I just put it in the cold pan. After I have it in the pan, then I'm going to set my burner to medium high, which on mine is about a number 8 on an electric stove. A gas stove, you could just gauge it to about the medium high level to get our shortening melted. While that's melting, I'm going to crack my eggs into my bowl so we can see everything here. So again, I'm only having 2. I'm just making them for myself. And the next thing I'm going to do is put just a little bit of salt. I'm just using coarse sea salt, whatever salt you like, and you don't need a lot of salt. I'm just going to put just a little pinch of salt in. And the other thing I like to add to my scrambled eggs is milk. Now you can use whole milk like I'm using, or whatever milk you have on hand. And you want just a little splash. You don't want a lot. So I'm just going to put just a small little splash of milk in. And then you're going to beat your eggs thoroughly. I'm using a fork, and that's usually what I use. Now if you have a large amount of eggs in a larger bowl, you might want to resort to using a whisk, which will work perfectly also. But if you're only doing like 2 or 4 eggs, the fork works just fine. So we're going to beat our eggs, and you want to make sure they're beat thoroughly. So in other words, not lightly beaten eggs. We want to really make sure the yolk and the white is completely mixed together. Yeah, apologize for all the clanking. So you see the egg mixture is really come together. By the time you're done doing that, your oil is going to be nice and hot. Take your egg mixture and just dump it right in the pan. A lot of mistake people do when they're making scrambled eggs is they immediately start stirring around, and I am using my wooden spoon. That's what I like to use, but I'm using a non-stick pan. It's either plastic or wood, and I like my wood spoon. You don't want to do anything right at this point. You're just going to watch for the corners of your egg to start cooking. Again, we're on medium-high heat. On an electric range, it's about the number 7 or 8. A gas range, just judge it to the medium-high level. And just keep watching until you get the edges that you see start cooking. And you'll see a little bubbling taking place. At that point, tip your pan and just pull from the sides in all directions. And that allows the uncooked egg to get down to the pan while the other egg is finishing cooking. So let it go again. See the steam coming off there? So I'm going to keep doing that until I can get some of the uncooked part on top to the bottom of the pan. Now, when I get to this stage where most of the outside is cooked, I'm actually going to turn the burner completely off. You can do this on an electric range. This is much harder to do on a gas range because the heat goes off completely. In an electric range, the heat stays on. So I'm at this stage, I turned the burner off. Now I'm going to go in and stir my scrambled eggs. And get them chopped up and get them all the way done. And I like my eggs pretty much all the way cooked. If you like them shiny, you can take them out at this point. They're kind of shiny. And that's all there is to it. So we don't have any scorched or burnt. We just have a really nice plate of nice eggs. So I'm going to plate this up on my plate. I haven't made my toast yet, but I have it ready here. So I'm going to pop my bread in the toaster here real quickly. But look at those. Nice and completely done. And you can put some pepper on it. Need more salt, you can put a little bit more salt on. But you have nice, fluffy, scrambled eggs that are absolutely delicious. So I hope this helps someone. The easiest way to make scrambled eggs. Again, use a non-stick pan. Make sure the eggs are not ice cold. Take the chill up by setting them out at room temperature for a while. Putting a little oil, whichever oil you want to use, or butter. Make sure you don't burn the oil or the butter. And let it sit in the pan until you see it starting to set up. Rotate the pan and get the uncooked egg to the bottom of the pan. As soon as you see most of it's cooked, stir it all up in the pan by turning the burner off. There's plenty of heat left. And this is what you end up with. Very fluffy, delicious eggs. So I hope this helps you next time you make scrambled eggs. This is Miami, CO, Indiana. Till next time, I hope you have a great day. So long.